What is good? This is a new channel Sports Take Down. As you know, this is a solo dolo. It's your boy, your host, Chris. So happy to be back for another takedown. This one is serious. Before I get into the takedown, you know what it is. Check us out at newchannelsports.net, not .com, .net to see our podcasts. You can see these takedowns on there as well. You can catch the takedowns on YouTube as well. Also, go to newchannelsports.net to check out my articles as well. We're on Afro Vibes TV, where you can see our beautiful faces each and every single week. We record a show. You can watch it on demand on Afro Vibes TV, through the app, through Roku, or through the website, AfroVibesTV.com. Y'all ready for this? This is a takedown. I've been saying this for years, but it's your first time hearing it. It could be your first time hearing it. How about that? Because I've said it on the podcast. The quarterback position is the most overrated, most overvalued position in sports. Ooh, let me repeat that. The quarterback position is the most overrated and the most overvalued position in sports. I'm not crazy. Hear me out. We saw what just happened with Jared Goff. He is the poster boy for this takedown. If there is a face for this takedown, it's Jared Goff. Jared Goff in his rookie season was a failure. He looked like a bust. He really looked like a bust. And then boy wonder came in Sean McVay. Saved the day for the Los Angeles Rams. Turned around Jared Goff on his rookie deal. We're going to get to that. Turned it around, and the LA Rams were able to get to the Super Bowl. They got to the Super Bowl. And then they had a crucial decision to make. Do we pay Jared Goff or do we not? You see, the way the Rams operate, they pay everybody. The Rams pay everybody. They pay Todd Gurley. He's no longer on the team. They paid Jared Goff. He's no longer on the team. They made a decision and they paid Jared Goff when I know they knew better. They knew Jared Goff was not the guy. But hey, he got them to the Super Bowl. He made some fantastic throws versus the New Orleans Saints in the NFC Championship game. And that boy, Greg the Leg, kicked a 58-yard field goal. Nobody talks about that. This dude kicked a 58-yard game-winning field goal to get the LA Rams to the Super Bowl. And then Jared Goff showed you why he's not an elite quarterback. But that's what teams do in the NFL. You have a quarterback that gets you to the Super Bowl. Win or lose, you are going to pay him. But the Rams knew better. I know they knew better because they hesitated. They had a little moment like, we really want to do this? And they did it anyway. And they paid Jared Goff. And what has happened since they've paid him? Well, they traded him. We know that. They won a playoff game. They beat the Seattle Seahawks. And we're going to get to their quarterback in a second. We're going to get to Uncle Russ in a second. They being the LA Rams, beat the Seattle Seahawks this season in the 2021 playoffs because it happened in 2021, y'all. And after that, they didn't look very good in the next round versus the Packers. And they do not have an elite quarterback. And they knew it. So what did they do? They traded Jared Goff and his monster contract, and they took on another monster contract in Matthew Stafford. Yo, LA Rams, what are you doing? You just learned your lesson. The quarterback position is overvalued. You just overvalued a guy and Jared Goff that got you to a Super Bowl, yes, but you know he's not elite, so don't pay him. But what did they do? They said, you know what, we'll trade one overrated quarterback and we'll get another overrated quarterback. And then we'll pay the most valuable. So I've said the quarterback position is the most overvalued. The most valuable asset in the NFL is first round picks. And the Rams, what they did was not only did they acquire a quarterback in Matthew Stafford, again, the most overvalued position in sports, they gave up the most valued, the biggest asset they have in the NFL, which is first round picks. And they say, you know, we'll give you guys two of them. We'll give you guys two of them for a quarterback that's better than Jared Goff, but has so far proven to be a quarterback that is not elite. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The Rams did not learn their lesson. You know how many playoff wins that Matthew Stafford has. He has the same amount as you and many of the listeners, as me and you, and many of the listeners who are going to listen to this takedown. 0. None. Nada. Nothing. No playoff wins, but we'll trade 2 first-round picks for him with the hope that he gets us to the Super Bowl. That is beyond foolish. But that's what teams in the NFL have done for years. Overvaluing the quarterback position. Overvaluing the position. You know who's trying to learn their lesson? The Dallas Cowboys. They're not trying to play Dak Prescott. And let me be clear here. Gotta say this. I gotta preface this takedown with this. I probably should have started with this. I am never against any human being who is doing a job and getting paid. Hey, if you do a job and they want to pay you $1 million, you will never hear me say, hey, he don't deserve $1 million. Man, get out of here. If they want to pay you, pay you. So I'm all for Dak Prescott getting his money. But if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you have to see this landscape. Some team has to finally realize, do we have to pay the quarterback position? Do we really have to pay this player? Is it that necessary? Because it hasn't really worked out for no team. It doesn't work out for anybody unless you have an elite quarterback. I'll get there in a second. You saw the Carson Wentz trade. The Colts finally get it. The Colts held out. Everybody knew that the Philadelphia Eagles were trying to trade Carson Wentz, and everyone knew that a good destination was with Frank Reich, the guy that made Carson Wentz and made him look like an MVP candidate. The guy that every Houston Oilers fan, hey man, I wasn't really coherent during that time. So if you're a Houston Oilers fan, I'm sorry. But Frank Reich is the guy that we know has the best opportunity to help Carson Wentz. And even they said, no, we're not going to give you guys a first. Think about it. Frank Reich is the number 1 coach to coach Carson Wentz. And the Colts said, no, we're not giving you a number 1 overall pick. We're not doing it. He's going to have to earn it. Now, they gave up a 2 and a 3. The Colts gave up a 2 and a 3 to acquire Carson Wentz. Now, those draft picks could turn into a 1. It could if they get to the playoffs with Carson Wentz, but it's a condition. In other words, he's going to have to be good if we're going to eat this contract. And I think that trade signaled for me the beginning of franchises finally properly valuing the quarterback position. It was the beginning. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Breaking news. Organizations are finally, at least the Colts did, finally understanding, do not overvalue the quarterback position. I'll give you a stat. In the last 15 NFL seasons, 15, and really we can go back to 20, but I'll give you 15. In the last 15 NFL seasons, there have been 4 Super Bowl quarterbacks who have received a contract after their rookie deal to win the Super Bowl. So they didn't win the Super Bowl on a rookie contract. You ready for this list? You ready? Are you sure? You sure you're ready? You probably already know who's on this list. You know, number 1 is Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. Oh, okay. Didn't say nothing spectacular there. But he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Then you have Drew Brees, who owns how many passing records? How many passing records does Drew Brees own? On a takedown, I talked about Drew Brees possibly not being top 3 in his generation, but he's top 10 all time. So that's the second quarterback I've named who's won a Super Bowl in the last 15 years, who was not on a rookie deal. He's a top 10 quarterback of all time. You know who number 3 is? You could guess it. Come on, you know who it is. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. He's top 10 all time as well. He is top 10 all time. I just named you 3 quarterbacks who you could argue. You can make an argument for any of them that they're one of the best quarterbacks of all time. We already know Tom Brady. There's no argument. He is the best. But for Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, they're GOATs as well. You can put them potentially on a Mount Rushmore of great quarterbacks. And then there's the 4th guy. The luckiest man in the world. I'm going to give you his name and talk about him. The luckiest man in the world, Eli Manning. Manning. Eli. just a lucky guy. Have you seen his wife? Have you seen his kids? He has a great father in Archie Manning, a great brother in Peyton Manning. His wife is beautiful. His kids are beautiful. Everything is just great for that dude. And even with him, if you remember, Eli Manning was drafted when the rookie players were, for whatever reason, the NFL collective bargaining agreement, the rookies were getting paid more than the veterans, which really didn't make a lot of sense. So even he wasn't technically on a rookie scale deal because he was getting paid a lot of money. So he's the exception of exceptions. There is one exception, and he's Eli Manning. And you can say he's an exception to a lot of things. He beat the great Patriots team in 2007 with one of the luckiest passes in NFL history when the play could have been blown dead. So if you think you have Eli Manning on your hands, hey, the luckiest guy maybe ever, then maybe you can pay that guy. But you better be dang sure, because the three other quarterbacks I named, they're on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks all time. So in the last 15 seasons, the only quarterbacks who have won Super Bowls, other than Eli Manning, the exception, have been Mount Rushmore quarterbacks. Everybody else was on a rookie deal. Every other quarterback that has won a Super Bowl was on a rookie deal. Ben Roethlisberger, he was on a rookie deal. Good quarterback. At times in his career, an elite quarterback. He's going to the Hall of Fame, but he never even got to the Super Bowl once they paid him. Not one Super Bowl appearance. And he's elite. He's a good quarterback. He's had elite seasons, and he's never been to the Super Bowl once he got paid. Russell Wilson. A lot of hay was made at the beginning of the season that he's never received an MVP vote, but everybody knows Russell Wilson is elite. Russell Wilson is elite, and he got a squad with Sierra. That's nothing to do with nothing, right? I just want to say her name, Sierra. But he's an elite quarterback. Nobody's going to argue that. But he has a grand total of 0 Super Bowl appearances once he was paid. None. No Super Bowl appearances. And nobody's going to argue that Russell Wilson is not an elite quarterback. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. There are so many people who may even put him on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. That's the type of arm talent that he has. That's how special Aaron Rodgers is. But Aaron Rodgers himself has been to 0 Super Bowls since he's been paid. None. Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. I bring them up because they both technically won the Super Bowl, right? Carson Wentz was having an MVP season. We talked about him earlier. He was playing really, really well. And then he got injured and Nick Foles came in. But let's be clear. Wentz, when the Eagles won that Super Bowl and stunned the Patriots, Wentz was still on a rookie deal. Well, we've seen what happened once he signed that big contract. It was a mess and they had to trade him. It was an absolute mess. The Eagles somehow had to fire Doug Peterson and then traded Carson Wentz. What's Howie Roseman doing over there? If you're a Philly fan, what in the world happened? What are you doing? And if you're a Philly fan, you're saying, aren't you from Houston, bro? Don't you root for the Texans? You can't be talking, Chris. I guess I can't. And the other Super Bowl winning quarterback, I already named 4 of them. I go back. Big Ben, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz / Nick Foles. The only other one to win was Joe Flacco. You remember Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl? You forgot, didn't you? He won a Super Bowl. Had one of the best runs a quarterback can have in the playoffs. He was on fire. Joe Flacco was on fire when they won that Super Bowl. And then they paid him. Dun, dun, dun. They knew better. See, all of these teams knew better, particularly the Ravens. The Ravens knew better, but how could he just win your Super Bowl? You got to pay him, right? You just got to. You got to pay him. Once they paid him, you guessed it, 0 Super Bowl appearances. None. Nada. the teams in the NFL just don't seem to get it. Because I've named you at least 3 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks who are pretty darn good. Big Ben, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Those are some really, really good players. You don't not pay those guys. But even the better players in the league still haven't won. In fact, the only quarterbacks who have won, I've already said this, are Mount Rushmore quarterbacks. So if you are an NFL organization and you're going to pay a quarterback, you better be sure this quarterback is a Mount Rushmore quarterback. Because if they're not, the odds are you're not going to win a Super Bowl. Period. You're not going to win. Now, the only other quarterback I didn't name he's also an outlier, Pat Mahomes. We'll see with him. We'll see. We'll see if he can get to the Super Bowl because he's just got paid. It'll kick in, I believe, if not next season, the following season. And we'll see what happens. I think he's elite and he's going to win Super Bowls. He is a Mount Rushmore quarterback. He looks like it. But we'll see. You ain't done it yet. We shall see. So what's the issue here? Why are quarterbacks so overvalued? It's 2 things. One, because the quarterbacks are really the face of your franchise. So when a team can connect with the quarterback, they just pay him, right? Teams just pay him. The player I think about the most and first and foremost when I had this conversation about, hey, quarterback position is overvalued. Maybe you should hold off on paying your quarterback. I think about the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. I just do. Because I know they're going to pay that guy. They're going to pay him. And if you're Josh Allen out there, man, I hope you get your money. Like, get your bread. You did get your bread. But the Buffalo Bill fans are so faithful. They are a faithful organization, losing 4 Super Bowls in a row, and they still show up, and they give to opposing teams' charities. And it's just a great organization, a great fan base. They fall in love with Josh Allen. It's obvious. But we just talked about this. I just told you what's going to happen if you pay him. If you pay Josh Allen, what that means is you're not going to be able to fill out your roster. You're not going to be able to fill out your roster as you are now that he's on his rookie deal, and you're going to need him to be a Mount Rushmore quarterback. Josh Allen ain't no Mount Rushmore quarterback. If they pay Josh Allen, they can kiss a Super Bowl goodbye. It ain't happening. Sorry. I'm sorry. If they pay him, they're not going to win a Super Bowl. The only way it works is if he doesn't take a monster deal. It's the only way it works. Some team has to do it first. The Cowboys are trying. But we'll see what happens. Because I'll tell you this now. If Josh Allen takes that Buffalo Bills team to the AFC Championship next season, I know they're going to pay him. And it'll be a mistake. It will be a mistake because he's not that guy. I think there are only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL right now who have the potential to be Mount Rushmore quarterbacks. There's 2 of them. And these are guys who are younger. So I'm talking about quarterbacks under 30. I think that is a Deshaun Watson. Maybe 3. There's 3. I'll throw in another one. There's Deshaun Watson, who the Texans they've absolutely bungled that situation. I'm not even going to talk about that in this takedown. It's too much. It's too much, man. It's too much. There's Deshaun Watson, there's Patrick Mahomes, and there's potentially Justin Herbert because his rookie season was phenomenal. Let's call it what it is. He was phenomenal. But the way teams have to be smart about this is if you have a good roster, i.e. the LA Rams, you have a good roster and you have a quarterback. What if you just have a decent and average quarterback who you're not paying too much money for and just build a great roster? Because that's the formula to win Super Bowls anyway. Every Super Bowl winner that did not have a Mount Rushmore quarterback, they had a complete team. And for whatever reason, these organizations don't get that. If I were the LA Rams and it was Jared Goff's contract year, what I would have done is I would have traded him to the next sucker because his value was through the roof. Some team would have traded and given you a first round pick. You use one of your first round picks to draft another quarterback, and then you use the other first round pick to just draft the player that you were going to draft anyway and to fill your roster out. Because the way you win Super Bowls in the NFL is with elite talent who you're paying for cheap. Once you pay them, your window for winning the Super Bowl it closes. It closes. It's not to say it's closing, it closes. The only way it doesn't close if you have a Mount Rushmore quarterback. And the fact is, there are only a few of those. They're not 10 people on Mount Rushmore, if you didn't know. It's not a packed mountain. If Russell Wilson can't do it, if Aaron Rodgers can't do it, what makes you think Josh Allen's going to do it? Sorry, Josh. I'm really picking on him, but I'm just, let's call a spade a spade. So what's my solution? My solution is stop overpaying them. It's real simple. Stop overpaying quarterbacks. Stop. Build a roster, GMs. You know, some team need to hire me. Y'all need to hire me, okay? Let me chill. The lesson here is stop overpaying quarterbacks because it is the most overvalued position in sports. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, subscribe. We do this for you. We do it for you. Subscribe, let us know what we're doing, leave a comment, interact with us, let us know how we're doing. Check us out on newchannelsports.net. That's not .com. Newchannelsports.net, spelled N-U, channelsports.net. Hit us up there. We have our podcast, and you can listen to our podcast on the website, or you can listen to it on wherever you listen to your podcast, Podbeam, Stitcher, Apple, whatever you listen to your podcast. I promise you, we are there. And if you want to see our beautiful faces, you can always see us on Afro Vibes TV. Check us out there. Check out their website as well. They're doing wonderful things at Afro Vibes TV. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I really do appreciate you. As you know, stay safe, y'all. Please stay safe. Peace.